Bobo C Tiberius here again in the O2 bracket of a modern challenge with Black-White Martyr. Not looking good, but we can win out and maybe do something. That's going to be the goal here. This hand is interesting. If this is a fast deck, we lose to this hand. If this is a grindy deck that can't answer the Crucible, we dominate. So we're going to try it because we're on the draw. Blooming Marsh is a very good sign that this was a good keep. Start with a Godless Shrine tapped and pass. Blooming Marsh is not as good as a red, an indication that they're red, but Blooming Marsh screams Jund. There's Verdant Catacombs. If they get a black, they get an overgrown tome. So they are just black-green. This is just rock. We'd rather it be Jund because we're more likely to Crucible Jund out of the game. But we're okay with this. We're fine with this. We'll play a Martyr to try to bait them into doing something. Right now, Martyr, if they can't do stuff with Goyf, Martyr can crack back and win a race. So there's that. There's Lily. Lily's obnoxious. They'll make us sacrifice a creature, so we'll just gain some life here. And take 2 damage. We do need something that pressures Lily. We need to be able to pressure Lily here. Drawing a Sorin right now would be very good. Archangel is good. Archangel will eventually help us pressure Lily. We now have Crucible, so the 2 things that can happen here is we Crucible them pretty aggressively while fixing our mana. Sorry, we Field of Ruin them pretty aggressively while fixing our mana. Or they just Assassin's Trophy the Crucible, which gets us to Archangel faster. So either option is a good option here. Opponent is taking their time. They will start making us discard here, and we don't really want to discard any of these cards, if we're being perfectly honest. We'll send away the Proclamation. Doesn't do us much good right now and when we have an Emeria. And we'd rather have the Wrath to kill their Goyf. Do they Field of Ruin our Field of Ruin now? We'll start going after their lands. They Field of Ruin us right back. So now we'll take the Hissing Quagmire and get another land. So that next turn we can play Avacyn. Now Now, it will take us a while to actually take their lands away, but we have Ghost Quarter, so we can kill their basics and get them off of black. We feel pretty good about this unless they draw an Assassin's Trophy. Assassin's Trophy hurts us, but it does let us cast Archangel without taking any damage. We will discard a card here. Discard the Emeria since we have Crucible. Probably should have done that to start, honestly. But we don't want to get Assassin's Trophied and then cry. Take 3 damage here. And there's a Scavenging Ooze. So yeah, Scavenging Ooze is a big pain in the butt that we have to get rid of, so we'll Wrath here. While the Wrathing is still good. They're not able to get us totally off of Field of Ruin. We're going to Wrath. And then get a Godless Shrine into play tapped. At this point, we feel pretty good. That 2-for-1 was very good for us. We'll discard a Serra here. There's some argument to discard the Marsh Flats, but we just don't want to get Assassin's Trophied and not have it. No, let's actually discard the Marsh Flats here. That way we have something that can trigger Archangel Avacyn. We will play a Field of Ruin and pass the turn. That way we can discard that basic swamp to Lily. Inquisition is a bummer. Inquisition makes us have no cards left in hand, and allows them to see that we're gonna play an instant speed Avacyn here. We'll discard that swamp. And now we can start getting in a huge way. We're going to try to take them off black this turn. See if we can do it. I doubt we can, but let's give it a shot. If we're taking them off of black, are they out of lands already? They already fail to find, so they are in big trouble. Either that or they just baited me. No, they fail to find. And they can't make us sack Avacyn, so we should be able to take this one home. They do get a Verdant Catacombs. And they concede. Big win there. Big win there. A lot of people don't run Crucible. I think that's a mistake. We'll bring in Rip. We'll bring in Anguish and Making. We'll bring in Hex Parasite. Bring in the other Avacyn. Bring in the Gideon. So we actually bring in a lot against them. Ruined Halo is also fine. The question is Sorin any good if we bring in the Rest in Peace? It can ping, which is good against Lily. It pings actually very well. We'll bring out all the Hawk. It's just so tough. We'll take out one Ghostly Prison. We'll take out... We'll take out a Cleansing Nova and the Hallowed Burial. Actually, let's leave in the Hallowed Burial. 2 Wraths are better than 1. 3 might not be necessary. We'll take out 1 Proc. And I think, yeah, Sorin feels bad. Sorin feels very not good. I don't know. Let's leave one in and see if we can afford it. This is tough. This is tough. Let's leave one in. Let's leave one in. I think one is the right answer. Let's take out a Serra. And then let's take out the Hawks. And then one Orzhov Charm since we have Rest in Peace in. Actually, let's take out two and let's leave in Sorin. Sorin can still ping very well, and then if they kill the Rest in Peace, we're in good shape. This hand feels strong. It's slow, but we are on the draw. They can Inquisition us, and they'll take one of these. But this feels pretty good. If we can draw some lands here, we're in very good shape. They don't start with a turn 1 Inquisition, and we start with one of the lands we need. We know they're only on 3 basics, so that makes Field of Ruin into Ghostly Prison a lot better. They're a slower hand this time around. We have our 4 lands now, so we'll put another Godless Shrine into play tapped. We're at 4 now, so 4 is strong. We can cast Ranger into Sorin. Dark Confidant into Field of Ruin. Another Sorin. We're going to kill their Dark Confidant now. We're just going to get that off the board now. We don't want them drawing cards. You saw how good it was that when they have a Lily, they have to discard. And Sorin fights Lily very well. They now have a Tracker, which we're okay with. Tracker will be a little frustrating, but not too much so. We're going to play our Ranger here. That way, if they kill it, we can Sorin it back. We also will just have Martyr Serra now. So we can be very aggressive with that Ranger if we so choose. Really glad I kept the Sorins in at this point, because I'm going to burn through them before a Rest in Peace is relevant. We're really okay with how this is going. We're especially okay that they're already down to some of their basics. There's a Lily. Lily makes a sack Ranger. And Spellbomb. We'll take 3 here. Play an Emeria tapped. Play a Martyr. And start blowing up some lands here. So we'll take their Field of Ruin here, while leaving up mana for Martyr. We don't want them to Field of Ruin our Emeria. We want them to have to Assassin's Trophy our Emeria, if they want it. That does give them a clue. Block Martyr. activate Martyr. Gain a ton of life. Up to 32. So we get to play Serra next turn. Will they blow up Spellbomb here? So we have an interesting move we could make here. We could discard the Serra, play Sorin, get Serra back. And then we can fight Lily a lot better with the Sorin. They do have 4 cards in hand plus 2 clues, so they can disrupt that. A part of me says play this cautiously and play the Serra and discard the Wrath. There's a Sphinx. We get another Emeria, so we'll play Serra, play Ghostly Prison, and take them off of black. And try to start taking them off of black. Looks like they do have a push, which is a bummer, but they're down to 1 card. Oh, they baited me last game. That's frustrating. I hate when players do that. That's such a suboptimal play last game. Why give up last game to confuse me this game? Maybe they brought in another basic, I don't know. But why have another basic in your sideboard? Why not just run it? I don't know. So they force us into a little bit of a misplay there and blow up our entire bit of nonsense. So there you go. So we'll Hallowed Burial next turn and then start Sorining. They've got 3 cards now, so we're a little frustrated. They can blow us. They blow us out a little bit there. They're going to start drawing some cards, which is fine. Choose not to crack. We're going to have to discard a Sorin here. We may have to discard both of our Sorins here. So now we'll just discard the Hallowed Burial, I guess? Maybe? I don't know. Yeah, I think we discard the Hallowed Burial now, give Avacyn lifelink. Make Avacyn into a 4/4 flat flying vigilant lifelinker. They can't crack here. They can't crack, so they are going to lose their Tireless Tracker here. A lot of money to spend to loot to kill the Tireless Tracker, if we're being honest. But we will get to ping down their Lily and kill it. Gain some life. We'd love to draw one drop. Path is great. Wow, what a draw. What a draw. Path takes care of things really well. Sorin takes care of Lily really well. What a draw. We could, now the question is, do we aggressively use Sorin to bring back Archangel? And it really depends on what they cast here. So we'll path things. They had so many lands. Why did they fail to find? They had so many lands last game. Why fail to find? Ooze is annoying. We will get to Hallowed Burial it. Then bring back Avacyn, maybe? Pays. There's a Lily the Last Hope. So yeah, we will have to use Sorin aggressively, I would guess. And if we lose Sorin, we lose Sorin. Mistveil Plains. Hallowed Burial. Opponent has 3 cards left. We'll get an Archangel Avacyn. Because they can't kill the Sorin. Nothing in their deck has flash. Nothing in their deck deals. Whoa! That's money. That's cash money. Wow. We out here. Okay. Two cards left in hand. They get 2 Avacyns out of our deck, in theory. Did they get both of them? Yep. Yep. We have the Ghostly Prison for when Lily gets active. We can just keep pinging Lily, and as long as they don't get a creature, Sorin can actually really help us out here. If they aren't able to find a, well, they find a Goyf. So a Goyf is a creature. Now they're drawing cards. We hope they start bricking. Field of Ruin can take us off of an Emeria. We have to be aggressive here. Godless Shrine doesn't help us at all. So we will ping. We're at 5 planes for Emeria. If they Field of Ruin Emeria, that gives us 6. We have nothing for Emeria to find, though. We have absolutely nothing for Emeria to find. They do take one of the Emerias. We get a basic off of it. 0 cards left in hand. We are in trouble here. We need an answer to the Goyf. Goyf's going to kill Sorin in theory. Nope, he sends... Our opponent sends the Goyf at us. No. The opponent sends the Goyf at Sorin, which is the correct call. We are at 30, so we can just slam down a Serra Ascendant. Kalitas is annoying. We get to Emeria with nothing to do with it. Treetop Village for our opponent. Opponent is very close to ultimating Lily. Will deal 9 damage to us this turn. Will our opponent. It's just like there's not much we can do here. Ranger is huge, but we still need to answer the Kalitas before it even matters. We'll get a Hex Parasite and a Serra, we guess. That way we can kill the Kalitas if they come at it with us. So worst case scenario, we get a Kalitas. I'm going to put Sorin back in the deck when we get the opportunity to do so. Sorin, actually, let's put Hallowed Burial back in the deck when we get the opportunity to do so. We want to have as many Wraths as possible. We did discard a Wrath, so we only have 1 left. Definitely in Game 3 going to bring back in a Wrath. Assassin's Trophy on our Emeria, which, like, okay right now. Not a big deal. We'll put one... We'll be able to put 1 Emeria in the deck so we can draw it. This makes killing Kalitas less of a priority. Pings down our Serra. Gets a zombie. You have exactly enough mana to kill Lily the next turn. Very expensive Lily kill. So our opponent doesn't get to ultimate. We will get to block Goyf again. So this is 12 damage coming in. So no matter what we do, we're dead next turn. If we draw a path here, if we draw literally any answer here, we can stay alive for another turn. Gideon is a card. We are going to prevent all damage the Goyf would do, and our opponent has to send something at Gideon. So we do have that going for us. We've kind of sputtered out here, and we're going to lose game 2 because of it. We were very high on the Sorin bringing back Archangel. That was kind of our way to win. So the Surgical, as much as I laughed at the play, I laughed because it was unexpected, not because it was bad. It was a really good play. It ended up basically allowing our opponent to do what they're doing now. We haven't shuffled the deck, so they are coming at me with Kalitas and a zombie, and then killing the Gideon with the other 2 zombies. We die next turn. Spin the wheel. This is eating our opponent's clock, but that's pretty much all we're doing now. Opponent Verdant Catacombs fails to find a swamp or a forest. So we now know they have exactly 6 basics. In theory, they could just be trolling us some more. Opponent will send everything at us and kill us. Womp womp. So do we bring the Cleansing Nova back? Is the question we ask ourselves. I think we try to find room for it. I think we do. I think we cut a Gideon to try to find room for it. We take the play here, so we can be a little more aggressive. We can do more with the play. It's been an awkward game, if we're being perfectly honest. We would rather play Jund than Junk. We would rather play Jund than Junk. The Junk deck is a lot more consistent. The Jund deck can be beat up on. We saw... I don't know why our opponent conceded so quickly game 1 and stopped fetching their basics game 1. I don't understand that at all. They had like nothing in hand. It stands to reason maybe they had all the basics in hand, but then they didn't play any of them. Like, you get back in it if you have all the basics in hand. Maybe they just felt so far behind they didn't want to give us any information and then concede, but I don't know. Definitely next leveled me there, bamboozled me a little bit there. Yeah, I'm curious why our opponent did that and essentially conceded game 1, but it is what it is. We got game 1, so we're happy. Let's see the hand. I'm going to keep it thanks to the double wrath. I'm going to keep it because of the double wrath. Our opponent mulligans to 6. Opponent keeps the 6. Blooming Marsh. Into Inquisition. All they can take with the Inquisition is the Serra. Go down to 19. Get a Godless Shrine. Play Emeria tapped and pass. Emeria tapped is good by us. We can start curving now. This hand is a little soft to Liliana, if I'm being honest. Did our opponent keep a one-lander? I'm curious why our opponent is taking a minute. There's the extra land. Goyf? Ooze. Rather it be a Goyf than an ooze, but here you are. Let's get a Mistveil Plains instead of the Marsh Flats. And pass. If our opponent goes creature here, we can go Wrath next turn. If our opponent goes Lily here, we can go... Oh, Thoughtseize is an issue. Thoughtseize takes Ranger. In theory. Thoughtseize takes Ranger. Opponent has a land. Puts it into play untapped. To play a what? To play a Duress. To take the Wrath. If they have another discard spell, this ooze can kill us. I would love to see another Ranger here. We are going to play Rip. We're going to play the Rip, keep Scavenging Ooze at a 2/2. Kill Goyf, keep Scavenging Ooze at a 2/2. That way we don't have to burn our Hallowed Burial if we don't want to. Opponent doesn't seem to... Opponent taking their time to react to this Rest in Peace. I don't know what they could do, in theory, about this Rest in Peace, other than try to kill us with a Goyf. Sorry, with the Ooze. And they can. Like, if we don't draw an answer to the Ooze, they just kill us. And I'm not going to spend my Hallowed Burial until they drop a second creature. The Surgical Ranger. Yeah, I don't see why not. Seems fine. Gets 4 copies of Ranger out of our deck. Sure. Opponent gets in for 2. We'll be down to 14 at the end of this. Opponent casts a Blooming Marsh. Opponent is down to 1 card. So if we top deck a Path, if we top deck an Anguish Unmaking, if we top deck a any removal spell, our opponent is just as bad off as we are. We'll put the Emeria and pass. Opponent is under the 5-minute mark. 1 card left in hand. Opponent draws another land. We would love to Field of Ruin here on that Hissing Quagmire. Sorin is interesting. Doesn't do much under a Rest in Peace, but can get us some life back here. So both of us will be at 13, and they have to attack both us and the Sorin to get the Sorin off the board. They definitely don't want my creatures to have lifelink. They activate Hissing Quagmire. Sending everything at Sorin, getting Sorin down to 2. And we have a Gideon now. Gideon is huge. And we'll blank Ooze here. I think Gideon closes out this game. Activate Hissing Quagmire. Send Hissing Quagmire at Gideon. We're just going to keep draining. We'll blank the Hissing Quagmire. And pass the turn. They send Ooze at Gideon. Nihil Spellbomb is a waste. They do get to draw a card off of it. So now we'll lose the Gideon. Actually, no, we won't. We'll just do that. Sorin is at 8. Sorin is nearly impossible to kill as it keeps draining our opponent out. Tireless Tracker, so now we'll Hallowed Burial and attack him with Gideon and win this game. And there's a Kalitas, so now we go back to pinging. Because we definitely don't want our opponent gaining life. back up to 21. Sorin has just been a house. There's a news. There's a Dark Confidant. We'll ping. We will prevent all damage from Kalatas. And we'll have to block with Serra. Unless Dark Confidant just kills our opponent. The fact that our opponent can't answer the rest in peace has been a problem. They will push, so they will get to kill the Gideon and start gaining some life. And they just died to their Lily. Woo! Very lucky flip of the Confidant there. Would have eventually got them, you imagine. Very happy that it did. Your boy Sorin coming in hot, taking care of business. If we side out Sorin, we lose that game. So Sorin pesters our opponent in game 2 enough to where they surgical an Avacyn, and then Sorin and Gideon team up to take down game 3. See you in the next one. We're 1-2.